No.
Hello, everyone.
You just start your stream as I come down here?
Well, technically I was supposed to start my stream, but I couldn't get any water because the door was fucking locked.
That's my aunt. That's my chaperone. Say hi. This is one of the kids you have to deal with. Alright. She's not that bad.
Where
Nana
you?
said, take 50, give me 100.
Hey, Mackenzie, you know I'm not that bad. You're aware. You see me. I'm not that bad. I'm just a bit hyper.
Just a little bit. We also have to deal with Josie, 3 7th graders.
Compared to the people you're friends with, I'm a breeze.
I don't have bad friends. My friends are.
You have to press it.
Mongoose!
I don't know why you're so excited. He's the one that calls you a gremlin.
Because I don't talk to your friend. I haven't talked to your friends in so long. Your friends are old and have shit to do.
Hey.
He's old too.
Mongoose is in college.
So old.
How's everyone doing? I forgot.
Mongoose!
I have to use this.
What?
You're so taller than I am when I'm tired.
I forgot. I have to actually do that. I'm not old. I'm a baby.
No, you're old. I'm a baby.
Hey, I'm actually the baby, so.
Be quiet. You're a measly 6th grader.
Hey,
I'm just an adult.
Are you trusted though? I don't think you're trusted with me.
Mongoose said it.
He's not no trusted adult.
Hi. I was gonna have everything ready, but we had a small issue. My my Nana's room. I'm sick. Cut me some slack. So my Nana's room was locked, and my Nana's room's where we keep a lot of the drinks, because her room is nice and cold.
No, because we have a fridge in there.
And the fridge is there. But the water's not in the fridge, but yet it's still ice cold.
Well, yeah, because it's in a closet.
Is she the creature that keeps talking?
Oh.
Had to figure out how to get that unlocked. To which, thanks to my mom, I now know the easiest way is to just call her instead of trying to.
Boom, 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 boom.
I didn't do that.
I would've.
Mackenzie,
What?
Goodbye.
what if I do this tomorrow, and then I tell you to try to
Boop. Thank you for the good voice.
and if you do, you give it back to me tomorrow.
Okay, I can solve it.
At the end of the day.
I know how to solve it. I can solve it in like 2 minutes.
Alrighty.
Elementary school, she said it's unsolvable.
Wow.
Let
It's like a
me
3x3,
stop the music.
and I put it in sand, so it's
My
really
head hurts.
bad in the ear.
Who's Mama Bean?
Nana.
Which one?
My mom.
If you're Bean. What?
Mackenzie, I found Bubbles.
That sounds like she's.
I'm Mama Bean to Mongoose. Don't ask.
I got questions. Also, if she's Mama Bean, doesn't that technically make it illegal that you have if Mongoose is in college and you're like mom? So that means like you
Do math correctly.
I don't know the math for that. You know what I'm talking about though.
That is indeed Kenzie. Well, sometimes Mommy Bean if it's Goth Bean. Did you want to see the Goth Beam?
Yes.
We'll go with the.
But if you I love it.
Mackenzie.
I've seen worse. I've seen my friends.
And this is the second Goth one.
You see your chat, right?
Yes.
My friends have called teachers hot. I've seen worse. Huh?
You know, I like to start my
People you don't
stream.
know. Oh, wow. You love me too much. Now, you
No.
like apple?
No. Go.
No.
So we got rid of the sorbet. So
Yeah.
alrighty. Give me a moment. Do you want to get hit when I do a jumping jack?
What are you doing a jump? I didn't see that.
You know what I learned in English?
Shooting lunges first, but still.
You can do a lunge? That is not a lunge. This is a lunge.
No dip, Sherlock.
You're closer to the floor.
No, it's grown up time, voice sleepy. Yes.
Why? I am not no child. You are the child. You are younger than me.
But you said I'm not the baby.
You're not a baby. I didn't say you're not the baby.
To be fair, I can't stretch my legs that far without it hurting right now.
Sorry.
Because I bashed my knee in earlier. I honestly don't know. But all I know is that it hurts when I lift it to a certain point.
My
Racing.
school's going to Disney. Beanie, it's not fair. Can I redo 8th grade?
Dr. Nana.
No, you can't. Sorry. That's so sad.
Yes. Bye-bye. That's what I do when I'm pissed off at my friends. I just hang up on them. They're going to Disney next year for 5 days!
I'm an adult, maybe facing being no mongoose little. It's not public affair. I'm an adult. I was born at least 20 years ago. Why?
They're going to Disney next year for 5 days, and all I get to go to Pennsylvania. I don't.
Thanks for saying where you're going. They don't know when though, so don't say that. Please.
I wasn't going to. For all they know, it could be like 2 months.
Actually, I don't even think they heard you. Did y'all hear where she said she was going?
Well, they don't know when, or where, or why.
Let me tell you. No.
and will try and find out my location, knowing it.
I know. You act like we pay attention to the small tick that hangs out with you. Something about Disneyland for 5 days? No, that's for the next 8th grade year. She's upset about that. Then she's talked about where she was heading. I'm going crazy now. You know where I'm going.
What? I didn't know you could jump, let alone do a jumping jack.
Are you okay? She's laughing at me because I'm doing jumping jacks.
Or like run or jump. So very funny.
So Kenzie's currently laughing her ass off at me doing jumping jacks because she's never seen me do anything.
That's a walk. I didn't know she could even jump, honestly. Damn, that made me cry.
You can go away now.
I don't want to go. I don't have anyone to talk to now because I hung up on my friend because she was being a dick.
I mean, you're not invited. So it's boring. I was invited. It's okay.
Lisa.
Decline your offer.
Lisa.
Kenzie's excited to see Reese's name. So
I don't like Mongoose. He can fuck off. Politely, he can fuck off. Can't I?
9.
Softly.
So 1 out of 13. Which one do I do? Reese's says
7.
high. Reese's says 3.
7.
Dinner. So Kenzie says 7. Reese's says 3. Mongoose says 4. Boys, if you're here, you're the deciding factor.
7. Go with the little gremlin's choice.
Boys, choose it too.
Damn it.
Boy says, okay, 3. Goes with Risa.
Yeah. I'm good with that. I like Risa. What was 7?
This is 5, so 7 would be birthday.
Oh, I like that.
Well, this is just the one we do first. So, since 3 is first, 3 or 7 next, or, well, 3 is
4,
first, so
4, 7.
4, 2, or 7 is second. Which one? I'm not here to please Mongoose. So 3 is first. Seven.
Yay!
Risa says 7 next.
Risa likes me. 2. And then Mongoose.
And then 4.
Why'd you put a space in between the thingy and 7, but not a space between it and 2, and not a space between 4?
Honestly, I don't know.
Will you fix it? Thank you.
3, 7, 2, 4.
Oh. Teenager, stop it.
Hey, baby. She's fully a year old now. She was born in April. You don't know how to feel about that, now do you?
She's fat.
Is this smaller, more irritating beam staying for story time?
I am not irritating. I am an asshole to people who act like an asshole to me. Like you. I can be nice. I'm nice to my friends. How do you think I get
I
them?
am an adult, though.
I get friends. If I have friends, I know assholes.
If up there.
How?
The bot's on top. Hold on.
New game tab or new drawing tablet, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know. I heard Nana told me.
Here, you want to open it and see it?
It's different than your other two.
Mm-hmm. I already put the case on it.
Oh my god, it's an actual tablet now.
Yeah.
Don't step on it.
Yeah. She just needed my freaking chapstick. That was my chapstick.
I don't think she likes the idea of not stepping on it. Who gifted it to you? Do you know? What?
Stop stepping on my keyboard. And to my knowledge, Beam Jr. does not have any friends.
I do. Who was I just on call with?
Why would I be
I'm also dating.
between your husband and you? Silly place for me to sit.
I don't care what you're talking about.
I act like an asshole too if someone says something to me. Yeah, everyone is a goober. Tell him no. Beam's Junior's best friend is Beam. I don't know about that.
Mm-mm. My best friend, is Maddie. And then I'm also dating someone. Because people actually like me, unlike you. And then I have Josie. And like 7 other kids you have to watch where we're going. What the hell is warm touching my foot? Oh, it's a cord. That makes sense.
Maybe the cat and Wiggles.
I mean, then which one am I dating? Like, I'm dating a human. So obviously I have friends if I'm dating.
I feel like Wiggles would dislike Beam Jr.
Wiggles loves me more than Beans.
Could you give him water? He finished his water up.
I just got a shower. I can't pick him up.
That didn't answer anything about water. You actually had to pull it off. You can't pour it in from the top. Don't look at me. It's what Nana bought him. Oh, don't.
I'm sorry, I didn't want him getting out, and I can't pick him up. I can't touch him. I physically cannot touch him.
She just slammed.
I'm not touching you.
I'm politely
touching you. Not
He closed the
touching.
cage door on
It's free
his
air.
face.
I politely did it so he wouldn't
Can you
get
pull off the thing and hand it to me so I can give him
Mostly
water?
'cause I will fill it. But I cannot touch him. Because I just got a shower. Hey! He's mine! Not yours! Fuck off! He lives
There's
with me,
an
he's
echo.
mine!
Yeah. I wonder why there's an echo.
I'm screaming, that's why.
Yes. If Wheels was hurt, you shall be removed.
I'll remove you. I will remove you. Oh, I can't say that.
You mean the spray bottle baby? No, I meant the sound alert. Oh, the sound alert? Can someone...
I'm not touching you. Not touching you. Not touching. It's free air.
It doesn't sound like there's an echo.
I was being nice.
Is there an echo?
Echo, 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 echo. I'm not helping.
I'm not touching you. Not touching you.
Let him get out!
Not touching. It's free air.
It's gonna fall. Here.
There is an echo.
That's not what I wanted.
He fell.
I can touch.
I have Wiggles now. Hi, baby boy.
I can't touch him. I'm really sorry. I just got a shower. And I'm not trying to like.
Chicken heart! Do you want a heart, baby? I'm not 3D. No.
So what? You're 2D, which means you're as flat as a piece of paper. That's what that means.
Wiggles doesn't
Can
want a
you
chicken heart
open-
because he knows that he will go into his cage.
He's stepping on your keyboard.
He can't do anything to my keyboard though.
Why?
Because he doesn't weigh shit!
But your cat does.
Yes, she does. Here,
She's fat.
hold on. Give me one moment. You have to be put away. You're
If I
not.
spill water onto you,
You're not allowed to eat the chicken heart anywhere but in your cage.
you know that.
I'm sorry. I love you. I can't do that. I don't know why you're glaring at me through there, bitches. Really? The floor, Kent?
You've got it on the floor before. And it's fine. It's water. At least it's not like Sprite. Or like,
Mildew, though. It could still mildew.
I'm pretty sure there's already almost pop.
Yeah.
So I don't
That-
know what you're complaining about.
Beaches is on your keyboard.
Am I supposed? Is some of this supposed to spill when I flip it back over?
Yes. Oh, it's fine if it doesn't.
No, I didn't. I knew it was going to. That's why I was asking. The middle one?
Slightly joking because messing with mongoose.
My leg's wet now.
I wasn't listening.
Who's texting me? Okay.
Did Anna show you the picture of Peaches in your bed?
I'm mad.
I'm
They
sorry.
get to go to Disney.
I'm sorry that.
I get to go out of this country next year, though. Not next year, the year after that. I'm actually disappearing now because I want to go talk to my friends. Or what? Yeah, I want to go talk to my friends, unlike what Mongoose has.
Kenzie is now leaving to go talk to her friends. Oh, if there's an echo, it's sound alerts. That's fine. We're doing family.
I'm not touching you.
She's touching me.
I'm not touching you. Not touching. It's free air.
The sun warmed your skin from its place in the sky and you closed your eyes, enjoying the mix of the heat with the pleasant breeze that drifted past you. You and Lee had spread out a blanket on top of one of the hills behind your house and had been relaxing there for a while now. Lee had come over earlier in the day, and while a range of activities had been discussed, from staying home to heading down to the beach, a picnic on the hill had been the choice you both settled on. A small spread was laid out in front of you, some bottled water, soft drinks, as well as chips and sliced fruit. You sat up and reached for a snack, listening to Lee talk away about the musical she had gone to see a few days ago. It was unbelievable. They were singing, dancing, and crazy stunts, and it was all done live, right in front of my face. Maybe one day we could go together. I've got to see more shows like that. You smiled at Lee's enthusiasm, knowing how much she enjoyed singing and performing. She was good at it too. You had gotten the chance to hear her sing a couple of times, and you knew she put a lot of effort into it. You little shit. Behave. No, it is not being. You also liked to sing, but you weren't very good. You also liked to sing and had talent on your own. You didn't like to sing, but you had been told you were good at it. You weren't good at singing, and that suited you fine. I have a headache now. You didn't like to sing, but you'd been told you were good at it. Whether that was true or not, there were other things you preferred doing more. I wonder if maybe we could put on our own show. Think of how fun it'd be. We could perform for our parents and ask our friends and some other people to come and watch too. It'd totally work. Yeah, let's do it. I don't know about that. That idea gave you stage fright. Sure, I'll give it a go. It's not a good idea. It'd be embarrassing. Let's do it. He had actually thought about doing something like that before, but never had the chance to. Lee clapped in excitement and bounced on the balls of her feet, beyond happy that you were on board with her idea. I'm gonna sing. What about you? I know singing isn't your thing. I'll sing too. I'll dance. I'll write the song. I'll do some kind of stunt that goes to the music. I'll pick the outfits. I'll do the makeup. I'll make a backdrop or some kind of stage. Yes, and make it a real show. I'm not really gonna sing. Let's see where it goes. It hurts. Night mongoose. I'll draw something, I'll paint, I'll sew something. I'll paint something. Have your paint kit back home. You could definitely use that to make something for the show. You just hope there'll be a large enough piece of paper or cardboard for a backdrop. Is there anything else that's coming to your head? One more thing. Let's do the makeup. You're great at that. Is there anything else that's coming to your head? Nope. That's all. Tiff, you ran back to your house to grab the supplies you need, dodging your mom's amused questions before heading back out to the blanket to get started. You set your makeup kit down, scanning the various products and envisioning how you wanted the design to look for the show. Lee and you discussed the plans in detail, settling on a song first and then practicing out parts for the show. The afternoon passed quickly, the sun dropping lower and lower in the sky, and after having thoroughly worked out how the show was going to go, decided to take a break.
Oh,
We should have invited Kof to watch us practice our show. Could tell us if it's bad before we put on the real thing. That's smart. You guessed that would have been okay. I'm glad he didn't see you said nothing. That's smart. We should ask him to watch us later. Okay. It's too bad Dirk is in the neighborhood today. I like him. Yeah, he's a good person. I really like him too. He's okay. He's kind of boring. I don't really like him. Yeah, he's a good person. I knew you'd think so. But speaking of boys we like, what's the relationship status between you and Kof? Is it good? Yeah, it's good. I don't know. You blush said nothing. You shouldn't gossip. I think things are alright. Yeah, it's good. I'm so happy for you. But like, really, are you gonna be telling him you have a crush on him anytime soon, or what? I don't have a crush on Kof. I'll tell him soon. No way, I'm not telling him. I'm pretty sure he already knows. You weren't sure if you wanted to tell Kof or not. Which one should I go with? Too much pressure. Too much pressure, voice. How about this? You weren't sure if you wanted to tell Kof or not. It was a big risk, and you had no idea what would happen afterwards. Whatever you're thinking, you know he has a crush on you too, right? He didn't say anything, wondering about the possibilities instead. The two of you talked a little more about Kof, amongst other topics, and you found out that it's nice having someone to speak with about these sort of things. Finally, both decided to pack everything up and head back home for the evening. You talked excitedly about the show as you did, and you thought back on what you had already accomplished for it. You could definitely do with a little more practice, but what you had so far was a solid foundation for the performance. Upon walking through the front door, you were met by your moms and Elizabeth hovering around each other in the living room. Tension hung thick in the air as the three of them turned to you and Lee, frowning slightly. You had interrupted something. Exactly what? You weren't sure. Wow, who died? What's going on? You looked between them but said nothing. Hello? Hello.
Oh.
Hi, Beanie. Hello, Lee. Welcome back. The room fell quiet again, with no one quite knowing what to say. You felt incredibly awkward, but the silence didn't last long. You don't have to stop just because those two are here. There's no reason to try keeping it a secret. Elizabeth was mad with her arms folded defensively over her chest, but your mom's nodded in agreement with her.
Well...
Elizabeth was asking about her parents, her biological ones. Oh. The world spun around you at the news. You couldn't understand why was this happening now. When you glanced at Lee, she shuffled her feet uncomfortably, as though she didn't know if she should be there or not anymore. You didn't know either. Your moms had always been open and honest about the fact that neither of them had given birth to you or your sister, but the details hadn't been fully explained before. I forgot. So how awkward is this now, voice? Hella awkward what we just walked in on. It made sense that Elizabeth didn't know a lot about her biological parents and wanted to know more. You just hadn't ever thought you'd accidentally stumbled into it. Elizabeth looked at your parents expectantly. She wasn't going to let them unintentionally interrupt. She wasn't going to let the unintentional interruption derail things. To feel bad, need beanie time. We don't want to keep that information from either of you. It's your right to know your past. But we did want to wait until you asked us to hear yourselves. Well, it's happening now, so... Your mom shared a nervous glance, and Ma took in a quick breath before speaking again. I adopted you from the Philippines when you were just a baby. Elizabeth dropped her arms, her eyebrows shooting upwards in surprise. Wait, I wasn't born here?
No.
No, you weren't. You could clearly see that your sister was appalled by this information. You struggled even more with what to do, or even how to react. Am I gonna have to pass some tests to even be a citizen?
No.
No, you're adopted into the country. We took care of things. You're already a citizen. You have nothing to worry about. None. I followed all the laws when it came to bringing a child into the U.S. Nothing can be held against you. Elizabeth sighed, placated with the information, but still far from happy. Who are my parents as people? Why did they put me up for adoption in the first place? Ma softly put her hands over Elizabeth's shoulders, trying to provide some support before she gave her the answer.
I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry, sweetie. Your parents were reported to have died. They didn't go into details on the specifics of how, but you are no orphan. I wish we had better news for you, Elizabeth. Elizabeth was torn between emotions. Her eyes filled with tears as she threw her hands in the air, settling on, enraged. Great, so I can never meet them, even if I wanted to. Not that I could have, anyway, since they lived in another part of the world when they were still alive. Elizabeth turned her back on you and your moms and stormed off, sprinting up the stairs into her room before anyone could stop her. I had to go talk to her. Mom immediately started to follow her, but Mom gently held her by the arm and shook her head. You should give her a little space to process it all. Your mom's head hung low, but she stopped walking. With Elizabeth now gone, the two of them seemed to remember you and Lee were still standing awkwardly off to the side. I'm sorry you had to see all that. It's not how I expected it would have happened when the time came. But since it's the topic of the day, Beanie, is there anything you'd like to ask? You deserve to know, after all. Lee patted your back and gave you a supported look. Do we know? Do we want to know? I know, but do y'all want to know? Can I get Beanie to story time me every night? Yes, no, yes. You want to know. I want to know. No, I don't want to hear it. Not right now. Couldn't even answer. I want to know. Your parents both nodded in sync to your reply, ready to talk. I can leave if you want to have things be private. I want you to be there. Thanks. I want you to be here. I can do that. Lee shifted a little closer to you in support, and you're glad to have her there with you. It made you feel a little stronger somehow. You turned to face your parents again, preparing yourself for what they were about to tell you. Mom was the first to speak, her voice quivering with emotion. You were adopted as a baby, but 2 years after Elizabeth. Hold on. Elizabeth is... So... Math is mathing in my head right now. Give me a moment. Oh, shit. So we are 2 years younger than Elizabeth. So that would mean we were a newborn when we were adopted. And of course, it would, also be the same with Elizabeth, as she was also, infant, but. We used a different organization at that time, but you were adopted within the U.S. We're sorry to tell you, Beanie, your parents had also passed away, and no other family member took you in, if there were any. That's why we wanted to wait until you asked. We didn't want to suddenly drop that in your lap. We want you to be prepared.
I'm sorry.
We're sorry, Beanie. They give you a reassuring squeeze on the arm to show you she was there for you. Thank you for telling me. Okay, you said nothing. It's not your fault. You didn't kill them, right? You started to cry. You were so angry. I don't want to, but I don't think you're. To be fair, we have always known that we were the adopted kids of them. Thank you for telling me. I did want to know, and now I do. Thank you for listening, Beanie. If there's anything else you want to know, all you have to do is ask. We'll do our best to answer any questions you have.
Are you okay?
How are you feeling now? Are you going to be okay? Lee watched you closely as though judging how exactly she should react to what's going on. I feel fine, but you didn't mean that. You started to cry. You held back tears, but you weren't fine at all. Anger rose inside you. You definitely weren't okay. You said nothing. Honestly, how would anyone feel in this moment? Unless you actually, had this happen to you, you wouldn't really know how to react. This one. You spoke in the most convincing tone you could. Your moms gave you a sad smile, and you weren't sure they believed you. No one seemed to have any words after that. You went up to your room. You needed to stay with your moms. You wanted to get out of the house. You wanted to see Elizabeth. You wanted to see Cove. Well, Elizabeth would know how we would feel. You were about Elizabeth. Even though she had been so angry when talking to your moms about everything, you could see she was clearly sad. You headed over to the stairs and up to her room. You left Lee in the living room. You asked Lee to go with you. I think we should leave Lee in the living room and have this just be a sister moment. None of them are me. You don't see me. It would be best to speak to Elizabeth alone. There's more chance of her opening up to you that way. When in front of your sister's door, you raise a hand to knock on it. There's no answer for a good minute, and then minute or two, and then you jiggled the handle. You found it was locked. Raising your hand again, you knocked louder this time, thinking she must have her headphones on and so couldn't hear you. Give me one moment. When she didn't answer the door a second time, it was clear that she either still couldn't hear you, or was just straight up ignoring you. It hurt to be shut out, especially right now. You went up to your room. You wanted to get out of the house. You wanted to see Cove. Oh my god. I'm sleepy. Where should we go? room can we go to that one? When safely under your closed bedroom door, you let out a heavy breath before heading over to take a seat on your bed. You lay back on your bed and stared up at the ceiling, tracing that line of the old crack and lines up there with your eyes. You had no idea what to do now, so you stayed where you were for a while, thinking everything through. Everyone had been so upset earlier and didn't really know what you could do to help. Eventually, the sun finished setting, casting long shadows into your bedroom walls until the outside was enveloped with the dark night completely. Some knock drew your attention, causing you to sit up straight. When you realized it wasn't coming from the door but the window, your head snapped towards it. You didn't have to question who it was. There's only one person who would come tapping at your window, especially at night. You moved closer and looked out, sure enough seeing the familiar head of green hair on the other side of the glass. In only a moment, you had the window unlatched and opened for him to enter. Cole pulled himself in through the window with ease, standing straight in your room, dusting himself off. Cole, what are you doing here? When he saw you, he seemed worried, and he ran a hand through his hair before speaking. Came to the front door. I wanted to come by, but your mom told me they didn't know if you should be bothered right now. I should come back later. I knew they wouldn't have said it, like, if you were working on some school stuff or whatever, so I got worried. Thought something bad had happened. I'm very sorry. And then you climbed up the side of my house. He smiled, feeling unrepentant for disregarding your mom's ruling.
I mean...
How else was I supposed to get in? You couldn't quite believe he had really shown up for you like this, but then again, you shouldn't have been surprised. He was always there for you.
Are you okay?
Well, what happened? Go put your desk chair next to your bed and sit down, his long legs bent in front of him. Huh. I'd say no because I tried to get him to look like mine. Very little with your bed covers, not quite knowing what to say, but he was willing to wait. There's a lot going on right now. It's nothing you didn't speak to him. Thank you for coming. I'm glad you're here. My parents are dead. Ooh. I am not going to do that. That's just gonna scare the fuck out of him. Thank you for coming. I'm glad you're here. Goes forehead furrowed and concerned at your words. My mom and daddy gave birth to me. They're dead. Without having to say anything else, Cove reached out and pulled you into a tight embrace, familiar warmth enveloping you. I'm sorry, Beanie. His words were whispered comfortably into your shoulder. You don't have to. It's okay. You started to cry. Took a step back from him. Good night, Mongoose. I don't know. I think that we would actually start to cry at this point, right? You pressed your face into the crook of his neck, unable to stop the tears. The hold he had on you tightened. Can you explain everything to me? He nodded softly before taking a heavy breath and launched into the story. Go sat quietly and listened attentively, nodding every now and then or taking in a sharp inhale. Sun settled between you as Cove sat quietly for a moment, contemplating everything you had said. When he finally spoke, his voice was quiet, drifting through the night towards you. Beanie,
I'm
really
so
about
sorry.
what happened to your parents. So sorry. He stopped suddenly, took in a deep breath, shaky breath, and you got the impression he was struggling with what was right to say. Said I'll never get to know him. I feel bad that I don't feel worse about it. I'm just mad. You shrugged your shoulders, not knowing how to feel. I don't know. Hmm. You honestly don't know. You shrugged your shoulders, not knowing how to feel. Everything was so overwhelming, it's difficult to get a good grasp. But you're not doing anything wrong, you know that, right? I think you can be as sad as you want for as long as you need, or you can feel okay about it whenever you want to. He sent a running hand through his hair as he looked out towards the window.
It's okay.
Guess what I'm trying to say is whatever you feel about it is how you feel about it. You don't have to force yourself to be different. Thank you, Cove. You cried sadly. You cried in relief. He nodded. Thank you, Cove. His words had made you feel better, and you knew it was true. You didn't have to apologize or make any excuse for the way you felt about it. Cove smiled at you a little, and you could tell he was trying to be comforting. And Rose definitely don't. It doesn't matter if you're not blood related. You're definitely family. I can see that, and hope you can too. Felt the reassurance in his eyes. Knock on the door made you look up, though before you could even move, it swung open and Elizabeth stood in your doorframe. She walked closer, and you didn't quite know what to do, or what she was planning on saying.
So?
Would you mind going? I want to talk to Jasmine. You can come back. It's not going to be forever or anything. Cove seemed equally parts concerned and skeptical. Leaving now wasn't a concept concept that thrilled him. You can't ask that. You nod your head in agreement. I want to talk to you too.
Really?
Oh, then we're on the same page. She made a little move along gesture with her hands, and it was settled. He waited until the two of you were alone before fixing her with an inquisitive look. Elizabeth folded her arms, looking over at you. Did Moms tell you about your parents too? I don't want to talk about it. My birth parents are also dead. Died. Elizabeth broke eye contact after that.
Sorry.
Why did you want to talk to me? I went to see and you didn't answer. That was the reason I brought the news.
What?
I didn't hear anything. Shutting everything out with loud music was very typical of your sister. You didn't feel much less confused, though. Why did you stop doing that, then? She shook her head as though the answer should be obvious. I was worried about you. I was the one who brought it up, but I made you deal with whatever was left when I was gone. She sighed, glancing upwards for a moment before settling on you once more. I want to ask you what happened without everyone breathing down our necks. That was pretty crappy of you to just bail. I'm amazed you noticed that was unkind. Thank you for thinking of me. I'm not mad at you. You're quietly surprised by her admission. Thank you for thinking of me. She shook her nose up a little at that, but her smile was soft. I'm okay, Elizabeth. It didn't upset me.
Hey.
How are you allowed to be that mature? The lightning spirits in her were quickly gone. As she slipped back into a scowl. You have to be born in the U.S. to become president. What? You never heard of that dream of hers before? She noticed her bafflement and continued. I get I was never going to be president, but it just feels weird having stuff taken away, not even before a chance at it. Not before getting a chance at it. I don't like having to know that when I was born, I was going to have a completely different life. So different, I can't even think about what it looked like in my head. I could have spoken another language, lived away from everything I've ever seen here, had someone else as my sibling. And then my parents died, and I was adopted. And the life I got became a totally new thing forever. I can't go back to what it was even before, even if I wanted to. I've been settled between you and the person who became your sister. I feel like that too. You know exactly how she felt. I really don't understand. I don't really understand. I feel like that too. I can't stop wondering what my life would have been like if I wasn't adopted. There's so many things that could have been different. Elizabeth watched you seriously. She was still trying to make sense of this to you. And herself. I don't know why today was the day. Nothing came up to make me ask the question. It was just something I've had in my head for a while. When it was just me and Mom's in the living room, I just kind of said it. Finally, and then here you go. There you go. She shifted from one foot to another, relaxing her stance just a bit. She also spoke more gently. Learning about them and what happened doesn't change how I feel about our family, Beanie. She smirked, fixing with sharp eyes. I had already figured out a long time that Moms weren't our biological parents. That wasn't news. Technically, one of them could have been related to you. You kept listening to Elizabeth. It really doesn't change anything.
Yeah.
Nothing about the family I was first born in would have made me decide that this wasn't my family anymore. You had hoped you'd be free my big sisterly status? Don't think you're so lucky. She bumped her shoulder against yours playfully, her lips tilted at the corners.
You'll always be my little sister.
Aw, you'll always be my little sister. You smiled softly at her, you jokingly groaned at the prospect. You bumped her back, you hugged her. Hug her. It took a few seconds, but she gave you a quick squeeze in return. You'll always be my family too. I think I'm really lucky. You took in the moment quietly. Chuckling, she seemed pleased with how the conversation had gone in the end. We should probably head downstairs to make sure Moms are okay. It's been a long day for everyone. You gave her a nod. Down we go. Met up with Cove just outside the room and made the short trip to the lower floor of your home together. The familiarity of it all felt nice. When you stepped in the room, you found your moms quietly sitting together at the kitchen table. They both got to your feet when they noticed their arrival, and Mom gave you a careful smile. It seemed they were too concerned to really register that Cove was was here now, despite being turned away at the door earlier. We're so glad to see you. Hi, I'm sorry for walking away before. Everything is alright. You said nothing. I'm sorry for walking away before. That's alright, sweetheart. We're just happy to have you here again. Mom then came over and wrapped her arms around you and Elizabeth, giving you a tight hug. It didn't take long for Mom to join in, putting her arms around the both of you.
Love you.
We really couldn't have asked for better kiddos. We love you. More than we could ever say.
Aww.
Moms. You smiled with their comfort. You were so glad your moms were alright. You smiled at their comfort. You're smushing me. I love you too. It was a nice moment and you enjoyed it for as long as you could. They both pulled back eventually and grinned at the two of you. And you knew then that you all had each other and always would. I hope you're alright. Lee came up towards you, a soft smile plastered on her face. And are you okay, Elizabeth? Elizabeth rolled her eyes and soft up breath, and he knew she wasn't used to showing her vulnerable side. I'm doing
Fine.
fine. Lee nodded, though you could tell she didn't quite believe her. Well, now, since we're all here, how about we do something together as a family? That sounds like an excellent idea. We should have some fun before the night's over. Totally! I love the sound of that. Okay. Cub looked a little bashful, likely over being included as part of the family, but he tried not to pay much attention to it. Why not? You hid the smile that threatened to tilt your lips, thinking that Elizabeth must have been in good mood, shining T-scope for being part of it. And no matter what she could have said about it, you wanted him to be here. He was someone who was really important to you. Who's got a suggestion? It should be something we can do here in the house with everyone in the same room. You suddenly remembered how you and Lee had been working on earlier. Maybe we could do our show. You're bummed you never got to do it after all. You weren't so keen on that now, after what had happened. Maybe we could do our show.
Oh.
A show? This is the first time we're hearing of this. I'm intrigued.
Wonderful.
It would be amazing if you put it on for us to watch. Oh yeah, I need to see what you've cooked up. That'd be cool. You smiled at Lee, who returned the gesture while bouncing on her heels in excitement. Take some seats and we'll get everything together. Your moms collected the chairs from around the dining table and set them in a row in the living room, where there was enough space for the show. While they did that, you and Lee quickly gathered the supplies you needed and rehashed the plan one last time. You listened to the song you had chosen one last time. After that, you quickly applied the makeup looks you had practiced earlier. The backdrop you had prepared earlier was also ready to go now that it was needed. When the two of you returned to the living room, everyone was sitting and chatting amongst themselves while they waited. The group quieted down when you and Lee stood in front of them on your makeshift stage. Lee was buzzing quietly with excitement beside you. You felt nervous all of a sudden. You were pumped for the show. You weren't sure how to feel. You were pumped. The time you and Lee had put into practicing was worth it. You were ready to go. Okay, so welcome to our show. We only came up with it today, but we promise it'll be good. You stayed quiet. Thank you for being here tonight. No refunds. You're gonna be really impressed. No refunds. Laughter rippled through the mini audience. Then you nodded at Lee that you were ready to begin. Lee took in a deep breath, waiting the few beats it took to get into the song and start singing. The makeup you had done on yourself and Lee made the show feel much more like a real production. When the performance was over, Lee took your hand in hers and the two of you bowed deeply together. Everyone gave you a round of applause and cheered for an encore. When you straightened yourself up, you're happy to see that even Elizabeth was clapping for you. Bravo, bravo.
Good job.
You're so talented. Your family rose from their seats and came over to congratulate you more directly. You were beaming from ear to ear. Cub was the first one to approach, stepping up to you and Lee with a smile on his face.
It's
Nice job. Thank you. Hey, were you the one who did the makeup? Yeah, that was me. Cub smiled content over his guess being correct.
Not
I
bad.
thought so. It was so good. You can't help but feel flattered that he could recognize your talent so easily. Your parents gushed about how great everything was and thanked you for sharing it with them. Itch. Your parents gushed about how great everything was and thanked you for sharing it with them. Elizabeth was complimentary in her own way, although she did describe the show as cute. She knew she meant as kind of kitty. You laughed it off, however, and were just happy that everyone had a nice time. In that moment, you couldn't have been more pleased to be part of the family you had. I am sleepy. It didn't take long for me to get sleepy here. Seven. It's 9:32. I'm going to do one more. Actually, no. I said that and I just instantly yawned. I can't. Oh. I didn't sleep all that well last night. Last night I didn't go to sleep until like today. But I am doing a 24-hour with Risa tomorrow along with Mad Dog. I'm gonna raid Arrow. Because we love Arrow. She's awesome. So we're gonna start around I think 11 p.m. my time. So I'm gonna try and sleep as much as I can. And then I'm also going to be food prepping, so I don't really have to stop and make food for a long period of time. So I will be doing that as well tomorrow. So I shall see you later tomorrow. And hopefully we have a good 24 hours. Yes, Crow, I'm doing a 24-hour stream tomorrow. It's not my fault that you're just coming in. Alrighty, on that note, I've just been lurking. Well, anywho, I shall see you all tomorrow night when we go live for the 24 hours. Oh my god. I'm sleepy. I'm rating Arrow. Goodbye. Good night, y'all.